The following stories are inspired by documented paranormal encounters. Some locations and identities may have been changed to protect the people involved. These stories may be disturbing for younger audiences, and listener discretion is advised. This podcast is based on true events.
Hi, I'm Dalia, she, they.
Hey, I'm B, she, they.
Hi, I'm Brandon, he, him.
And this podcast is based on true events.
Well, welcome back to another special episode.
I looked at the calendar.
You looked at the calendar?
I know what today is.
Today is B's birthday!
On the dot, too.
It is on the dot. It's the
Of the
only one that
release
comes out
date.
on the birthday.
Yep.
However, the next two episodes as well will be special themed because next episode is Dahlia's birthday episode, and the episode after that will be my birthday episode.
Woohoo!
So yeah, I'm excited. We think we came we think me and Dahlia, me and Dalia think we came up with a really good idea and theming of today's episode.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Do you want to take a guess on what it might be?
Is it bug related?
One could say.
Yeah. One could say.
Are there any children in any of these stories?
Mine does not have any.
No, I don't believe mine does either.
Woo! Okay, that's the win.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm really excited to see what you guys picked. Are they about Mothman?
Are they
about Mothman?
They are Mothman.
They're all Mothman episodes.
Oops, all Mothman.
Yes!
So Dalia suggested, and we will be naming this episode B's Mothman Mania.
Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah.
You guys know I'm gonna cry.
So why don't we start with you for vibe checks then?
I'm fucking. Where's my weed pen? I feel like I need.
I need a
to
celebratory
take-
weed hit.
I need. Hold on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there's a ghost. I'm feeling great. Happy birthday. I'm 28.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, future me.
Thanks,
Mooney.
Mooney's meowing outside the door again, just yowling.
Yeah.
How about you, hun? What's your vibe like right now?
I'm great. I just ordered food, and I'm thinking about also ordering candy
Oh,
currently.
no.
So I'm doing great. I have
wait.
I have the munchies, and I'm not even the one smoking. So
It's the second hand. My bad.
Secondhand munchies.
It's the second hand.
how about you, sweetie?
I'm doing good. I'm fine. I haven't been getting a headache like I usually do in sessions.
Again, it's the second hand. You're welcome.
My throat is fine, but there is a little scratchiness just from we've been screaming and talking even for an hour beforehand.
Yeah.
When we start before the recording session.
We've
just
been
been chilling.
yapping.
We've been having fun.
Mm-hmm. It's been a good day.
It's been a good day. Yeah. But yeah, would you like to jump right into your special Mothman birthday episode?
Yes, please. I'm so excited. Mothman.
All right. Well, so I think a lot of people would probably label Mothman as their favorite cryptid. The subject of smut books and funny little cartoons alike, the image of Mothman doesn't really seem to strike fear the same way as a ghost or a banshee would, right? Mm-hmm. However, most people would consider Mothman more of a creature than anything else. But what if Mothman had a more paranormal side to it? And what if he was a lot more menacing than we give him credit for? As told by the show Paranormal Witness, I give you the tale, I'm here.
Creepy.
The following events occurred in West Virginia and Maryland between 2009 and the present day. Jeff and Crystal Drenning are just your typical couple who fell in love at first sight. They both work at a gaming store and love to travel and discover new places. Well, one day, the two of them decide to take a trip to a little town called Point Pleasant in West Virginia. They check into their hotel and decide to check out a little shop across the street that sells souvenirs and Native American trinkets. As they're looking around, they see a bulletin board on the wall plastered with a bunch of newspaper clippings and pictures. It sounded like there was going to be more, but the sentence ended there at pictures. What really grabbed their attention, though, was a clipping about a tragedy that happened in the town in the 60s, where the Silver Bridge collapsed, causing the death of 46 people. After asking the store owner about the bulletin board, they were told a really interesting story. Apparently, roughly a year before the bridge collapsed, people had reported sightings of a winged entity in Point Pleasant. Apparently, it had made a lot of headlines at the time, and one journalist even gave it a name, the Mothman. It was said, for a lot of people, when they saw the Mothman, they would feel this instant feeling of fear and dread, like something awful was about to happen. And after the bridge collapse, people began to see this creature as a harbinger of doom, or in some cases, an angel of death. The bulletin board also had pictures of these concrete igloo-like structures covered in grass and shrubs, and after asking the owner about them, found that they were bunkers used to store munitions in World War II. And these very bunkers are where the Mothman had been sighted for the first time ever in the 60s, on record at least. The bunkers were said to be the Mothman's domain. And after finding out that these bunkers were on a nature reserve and open for visitation, the Drennings just had to go check it out. The owner drew them a little map of how to get there, and they were on their way. But before they left the shop, the owner mentioned one last thing. Apparently, people have caught some eerie voices on recording at the bunkers. Well, that part they really weren't interested in, but they thanked him for the tip and headed out. As they parked their car and started walking through the woods to the location of the bunkers, Jeff remembers feeling really creeped out, almost like he felt something was going to jump out at him at any second. After about a 5 or 10 minute walk, they made it to the clearing with the bunkers. Crystal says that all you could see was this big steel door peeking out from the foliage that they realized was the first bunker. Stepping into the bunker was a complete change from the woods surrounding it. The whole atmosphere was just strange. As Jeff shined his cell phone flashlight around the dark bunker, he suddenly remembered what the store owner had said about the recordings. More out of curiosity than anything else, Jeff hit record on his phone and started asking questions. As Jeff was doing this, Crystal reports feeling a very weird feeling and actively starts trying to get Jeff to stop so that they could leave. As they're about to exit the bunker, though, they both swear they heard an odd sound, almost like a brief fluttering of wings. A little creeped out but otherwise unaffected, the couple chalked the feeling up to just being in a strange environment, think nothing else of it. After getting back to the car, Jeff has the idea to listen back to the recording that they had just taken at the bunker. At first, it's just what they expected. Nothing. Just the sounds of Jeff's echoing voice as he asks questions to the emptiness in the bunker. However, as Jeff asked in the recording if anything can give them a word or two, they hear a reply. A really deep, guttural, raspy voice answered, "I'm here." Upon arriving back at their house the next day, Crystal says that she just felt so much better. They were 4 hours from Point Pleasant, and whatever owned the voice that they captured they're 4 hours away from Point Pleasant and the voice of whatever they captured on the recording. Later that day, Crystal's phone rang with the caller ID showing that the number with a blocked number. Curious, she answered it only to be met with silence. She hung up, but a minute later, her phone rang again. Once again, blocked number, and once again, silence upon answering. The fact that she picked up when the same blocked number called a third time is insane to me. But she did, and this time, she could hear an oddly staticky beeping noise on the other end of the line. Crystal tries to rationalize it as maybe a fax machine or something had just accidentally called her phone, right? Either way, the call stopped after that. That night, Jeff and Crystal decide to go out to dinner to relax for a bit. Crystal heads off to the bathroom to fix her makeup, but as she grabs the doorknob, she snaps her hand back as a burning sensation covers her palm. She runs to tell Jeff that she had just burnt her hand on the doorknob, and Jeff's first thought was that there could be a fire on the other side. He used his jacket to open the door, but finds nothing out of the ordinary. No smoke, no flames, no shorted wires, no heat source at all. As Jeff looks around the bathroom puzzled, he hears Crystal gasp as he turns to see that she had stepped into the bathroom and closed the door, probably to see what if the source of the heat was like on the door behind it somewhere. But what she saw, and now what Jeff looks at, is 2 huge blackened handprints on the back of the door. The fingers were spaced way too far apart to be human and seemed to end in a clawed tip. Upon touching the prints, they found that they were a really strange, ashy substance, almost soot-like. At first, Jeff thinks it's a joke, and this actually sparks a small argument because he doesn't want to believe the terrifying reality of what he's seeing. But if this wasn't Crystal, then this was terrifying. Then Jeff has another scary thought. Is someone in their house? Jeff grabs a bat and searches the house but finds nothing and no one. The couple walk to the end of their driveway to sit on a little bench they had under a street light at the end. Their house is a bit secluded, but they like the peace and quiet, and right now they figured sitting down outside of their house for a bit could clear their heads. After taking a bit of a breather, they decide to look things over again and head back up the walkway to their house. But as they open the door, the both of them jump back as a loud, piercing shriek comes from inside the house. Jeff said it was unlike anything he had ever heard. At the same time, every light in the house shut off at the same time. Jeff thinks that there's a person in the house trying to mess with them, and despite Crystal desperately begging for him to just get the hell out of there, he goes in the house to investigate. Upon trying to turn the lights back on in the house, only darkness greets Jeff. Either someone tripped the breaker or the power was out. Jeff searches through the dark for the source of the screeching, or the search of the screech that he heard, grabbing a knife from the kitchen for defense if need be. Upon finding nobody in the house, Jeff returns to tell Crystal, and this time, when they try to flip the lights on, they find the power is back on with no explanation. They just work this time. One night, not long after, as Jeff drives home from work, all of a sudden, his car loses power, leaving him dead on the road. He gets out of his car to take a look, but he can't find a solution, and there's no service on this stretch of wooded road leading home. At the same time, Crystal is at home waiting for Jeff when her phone rings, and her heart sinks as she reads "blocked caller" across the screen. She answers, hoping to only hear silence once again, but is greeted with the sound of garbled voices. Terrified, she throws her phone across the room on instinct, wishing so badly for Jeff to hurry home. After about 10 minutes of trying to get his car going again, the engine finally roars to life and Jeff starts driving again. A few miles up the road, Jeff sees what looks at first to be a hitchhiker on the side of the road ahead of him. At this late at night, on this desolate of a road, there's no way this guy's ever going to get picked up. As Jeff approaches closer, he can make out that the man seems to be wearing a dark robe of some sort. Suddenly, Jeff slams on his brakes as he sees the man turn on the spot and dash across the road faster than Jeff had ever seen anyone move before. At this point, he was so freaked out that he just put pedal to the metal and drove the rest of the way home. Real speedy quick. Back at home, Crystal hears her phone ring and looks over to see that it's Jeff calling this time. He tells her about the figure that he had seen, and they talk until Jeff gets home, probably to make them both feel a bit better. Later that night, Jeff awakes thinking he had heard something. He listens hard. Is that someone moving through their house? It's so slow and faint that he can't quite be sure. As Jeff checks the house, he sees a small window open that faces their backyard. Did they forget to close that before bed? He looks out the window with his flashlight, but closed it up after not seeing anything suspicious. As he tries to get back to sleep, he thinks he sees the silhouette of a person crossing back and forth in front of his bedroom door. As he watches, not quite sure if he's actually seeing this, the shape suddenly stops and charges at him. Panicking, Jeff turns on the bedside lamp and bolts up, waking Crystal in the process, but there is nothing in the room with them. Crystal suggests that Jeff might have just been having a nightmare, and Jeff doesn't know if she's right or if he really did just see someone in the room with them. They go to the kitchen, and Crystal takes a couple glasses out of the cabinet. As she goes to pour them both some water, they suddenly hear the sound of the same sliding cabinet door that Crystal had just closed after retrieving the cups, opening up. They look up, and sure enough, the door is wide open. As if to acknowledge that it had been seen, a wine glass from inside the cabinet slides forward and falls to shatter on the ground. After this incident, things got quiet for a week or two. long enough for the couple to start questioning if they had just gotten themselves worked up over nothing. Then, Jeff and Crystal awake one night to the sound of clattering metal from the kitchen. It sounds as if someone is dropping silverware on their wood-paneled floor. As they turn on the lamp, they also notice that there is a spoon lying in their bed, bent at a 90-degree angle. The sounds quicken as they slowly make their way to the kitchen. Turning on the light, they find every single fork, spoon, and butter knife that they own on the floor of their kitchen, all bent and misshapen.
Damn.
And now this not only confirms that something is, quote, quite in fact going on, but also raises an even scarier question. If this thing can do this, can it do something to harm them? For instance, could it throw a knife at them? Jeff and Crystal can't help but link the source of their troubles back to Point Pleasant. Nothing had happened in their house until they returned from going to those bunkers. As silly as they felt for thinking it, could Mothman really be the cause of all this? The couple started to do research into other people's supposed claims of experiences and sightings and were blown away by just how similar some of them were to their own. The phone calls, the bent spoon, the car breaking down, the piercing shrieks, they were not alone in this. Other people had made it through these experiences, which means there was definitely hope for them, right? They learned of another eyewitness who claimed to see the Mothman in 1966 named Faye DeWitt. Faye was actually on the episode as well. She claimed to see a creature who stood on two legs run across her brother's car as they drove one night. Or run alongside, rather. She hit her brother's leg, telling him to get them out of there, but it's like the speed was no problem for this thing. The brother ended up doing a hard turn into the TNT bunker loading dock. They were trapped because of this, and so he slammed on his brakes. This thing jumped onto the hood of their car, and they were afraid that the slightest movement might cause this thing to come through the windshield at them. When cops asked them how they knew it wasn't just a man, Faye simply replied, "Because it had wings." She said that the thing jumped off the car, ran about maybe 10 feet, opened up the biggest wings that she had ever seen, and just flew into the dark. Jeff and Crystal decided to go back to Point Pleasant, back to the bunker, and confront this thing. The closer they got to the bunker, through the woods, the more apprehensive that Crystal felt. But they also felt like there was no other way that they were going to get rid of whatever this was. When they got to the bunker, Crystal stayed at the door while Jeff turned on his voice recorder and started asking what the thing that had followed them home wanted from them, and telling it that it needed to leave them alone. All of a sudden, Crystal feels like the air was pressing in on her. Something was about to happen. And happen it did. As Jeff continued to taunt, Crystal watched as he suddenly got launched backwards through the air a good 6 or 7 feet.
Damn.
As Jeff scrambled to his feet, he tells Crystal to run as another piercing shriek rings out loud in the bunker. The couple ran back to their car and drove the entire 4 hours back home. They still had hoped that this would be the end of their terrifying encounters. But the following night, Crystal was waiting anxiously for Jeff to get home from work and decided to jump in the shower. As she's washing her hair, she looks and sees the silhouette of a hand pressed up against the shower curtain.
Fuck that.
Thinking that it's Jeff, she greets him. Getting no response, she thinks that maybe he's just being funny and presses her hand up to his on her side of the curtain. Still getting no response, she looks around the curtain to see nobody there. She calls for Jeff as she looks around the bathroom, but screams when she sees a large handprint similar to the one on the door before in the condensation on the bathroom mirror. Meanwhile, Jeff is driving on his way home, listening to the radio, and suddenly, as he rounds a bend in the road, he sees something drop down from above. This thing charges straight at his car, running upright on two legs, and leaps onto the hood. As the thing crouched down to peer through the windshield, Jeff describes it as looking into the eyes of the devil himself.
Jesus.
It then jumped up into the air and took off flying. As it flew past the tree line, Jeff took off down the road. Later on that week, Crystal would answer yet another call from the same blocked number to hear a voice on the other end that sounded very similar to the first one they caught on recording, and it was saying, "I'm going to eat your light." Crystal now feels like this thing is threatening them. She goes to the bathroom to throw some water in her face. All she can do is try and clear all of this from her mind for now. As she looks up, she feels something whiz past her face and looks to see a dark, goopy, sticky substance splatter on the mirror. As she's examining it, she hears something hit the wall next to her and looks over to see another ball of goopy substance on the wall nearby. Thump on another nearby wall. Thump on the bathroom counter. Crystal is now pulling at the closed bathroom door, screaming for her husband as these sticky masses continue to materialize out of nowhere and splat all around the bathroom. As Jeff opens the door and Crystal tries to explain what's happening, she feels a whack directly in the center of her back. As Jeff looks at the substance on her back, the couple continue to get pelted with globs of dark goop. They escape out of the house, and Jeff just holds Crystal as she sobs hysterically. At the end of their rope, the couple decides to move out of the first home they had ever had together. On the very somber moving day, they said aloud to the now empty house, "Stay here. Do not follow us. You have no control over us anymore. You cannot come." And as if to answer that, just as they were closing the door, Jeff and Crystal see a bent spoon fall to the ground as if it had materialized from nowhere.
Holy shit.
Damn. I'm having a really difficult time. Because all I want to do is make dirty jokes. But these are real people who have genuinely suffered. And I can't.
Dirty jokes
can't.
from what? The globs?
The gloops. Yeah, the whole
Gloop
time I
glops.
was thinking
The
Mothman
dark,
nut.
sticky globs?
Mothman nut. Mothman nut. And then
We made eye contact. I knew exactly what was going through her
The
head.
moment I said it, I was like, B's gonna...
Yep. Yep.
For me, I didn't realize Mothman was like... I mean, I knew Mothman was scary, right? But
But you never think of him like that. That's what I was saying
like
before.
as someone, you know, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But, like, that's a really terrifying situation. Because, like, most of the time it just feels... It does feel like a threat, right? Like, what exactly do you want? Like, obviously, the second time it's like... Man, it really feels like you're egging it on or, like, something, man.
Begs the question to what is Mothman?
Yeah.
With the handprints and shit?
My baby
like,
daddy,
what?
that's what he is.
Like, is he some kind of like... I
It's
know
like-
people say he's a harbinger, but...
It's like, yeah, a cryptid, but, like, what if there is, like, a more supernatural, like, thing to him? Like, what if it's, like... Oh, you know how I think about demons. Like, what if there are these just innate spirits in Earth, like these, like, creatures, right? And what if the manifestation of this thing is this Mothman, like, what we know as Mothman, but it still has an incorporeal form, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the only way I can, like, think about to subscribe it, to describe it.
Describe it.
Subscribe to my Mothman thoughts. Maybe don't do that.
Well, any other thoughts before we get to pictures about this one?
No, I'm ready. Let me see.
Okay. So the first one, as usual, this is a picture of... Oh, man, why am I now blanking on their names? Jeff and Crystal. That's right. So this is a picture of the people who told the story, Jeff and Crystal. This next one, quick one. We don't usually comment on the people. We named a face. But this next one might comment on. This is the picture of the outside of one of the bunkers. Right here. As you can probably tell, there's a lot of graffiti on the outside.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it literally just looks like a concrete and a metal door coming out of foliage.
That's what's up.
And the next picture I'm sending is actually a picture of the inside of the bunker, which, like, is a lot bigger than I would have expected, to be fair. Also very graffitied.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this is what they were, like, exploring inside of, and what me and Dalia are going to explore. Or, by now, have explored.
The crosses.
Mm-hmm. The crosses. I Heart Penn Island.
I hurt Penis Land.
Yeah, I know. I Heart Penis Land. And then...
I get it now.
Did you not?
No, I thought it
I
just
thought
said
you'd be the
Penn
first
Island.
one.
No.
You ever heard of the Pen 15 Club?
No.
All right.
And 15 was a thing, yeah.
No.
This next one is of the Point Pleasant Trading Company, which is a little, like, antique kind of novelty store there. I believe this is the store they might have like gone into. This is what I believe it was. I could be wrong, but this is what I pictured. This like fits the bill the most, I think, when I think of it.
Ooh, we should go.
We will definitely go. I really want to look around it too. Next up, this is a picture of the statue of Mothman. It's a really good picture. I like how red the eyes look. I actually didn't realize until now, for some reason, that the eyes were like a jewel of some sort, or like a clear glass type deal.
Why, he got abs and a hairy chest.
Yeah, exactly.
Mind your business.
Mind your business. When I was there last time, I put a quarter at the top of his butt crack.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, this is a depiction of what the show. This is how the show depicted this Mothman maybe creature that it's Jeff, right? Yes, Jeff. Sorry, I was like, that can't be right, but it is. That Jeff had seen like during these events and these ordeals. So this is how the show depicted the Mothman, basically.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's not your typical fuzzy guy.
Nope.
No, it's really interesting how they described this creature, this person that they kept seeing too, or that Jeff kept seeing. Like the fact, like he was wearing a robe and stuff. You know, like he was more human, but he had wings. And like I also liked how they included Faye DeWitt's description as well to show that like this is not a isolated incident. You know, like she also saw this depiction. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is my Mothman story today. What was your scale on that story on a scale of moth to man? What? How many moths do you give this one?
Green.
All right, Dalia, what do you got for us today?
Solid.
It's a solid rating. I'm proud of myself for that.
So
You should be. I don't hand those out lately.
Yeah.
Really. So for my portion of B's Mothman Mania, I am actually covering a retelling of the original documented encounters. As for where I found this retelling, it is actually from a gender-affirming clothing/undergarment company called Shapeshifters.
Huh.
On their website, they state, "We are a queer-owned, queer-focused small business in southern Vermont. For over 10 years, we've been leading the charge to make binders colorful, joyful, and truly size-inclusive. Our driving goal from the beginning has been to give every one of our customers a one-of-a-kind binder that they love and that fits them to a T." You can find their website at shapeshifters.co.
What an odd place to find this story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As for where the retelling is located, Shapeshifters has a blog, and you can access it by typing shapeshifters.co/blog.
I see. Okay.
And there it just happened to be. I will say, though, the blog post had no name attached to it. Otherwise, I would credit the author. I would also like to add that this blog reflects true to the multiple writings of the original encounters out there online.
To be fair, thinking about like the correlation between the story and that, Mothman does feel like a trans icon.
Yeah.
So
let's get into it.
Let's do it.
On November 15th, 1966, two young couples were out for a joyful ride along the back roads around Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Around midnight, they made it to the decommissioned munitions factory the locals called the TNT area, now the McClintock Wildlife Management Area,
Okay.
where they encountered the creature we now know as Mothman.
Mothman.
My baby daddy.
Those two couples, Linda and Roger Scarberry, and Mary and Steve Millette, weren't the first to see it. In fact, there had been enough sightings before that of the creature lurking in the woods by the TNT arena that it had gained a local nickname, the Bird. But
How original.
Yeah. But their story was so detailed and harrowing that it was reported on in the local newspapers the very next day, making it the very first published sighting of the Mothman.
Oh, shit.
According to the Scarberrys and the Millettes, accounts of the incident when they arrived at the TNT arena, the first thing they saw of the creature was its eyes, glowing red in the headlights of their car. And I did not word that correctly, but I did not paste that correctly.
Yeah, it sounded right.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. It didn't chase them, not yet. Instead, they watched it turn and disappear around the corner of the building, which gave them a better view of the rest of the creature. All 4 eyewitnesses, at least one of the earlier eyewitnesses, described the creature as a humanoid with wings. According to the original police reports about the November 15th incident, the Mothman was gray in color, around 6 to 7 feet tall with muscular legs. The wings on its back, also gray when fully unfurled, had a wingspan of around 10 feet. The only color on the entire creature were the circular eyes, about 2 inches wide and 6 inches apart, which glowed a fiery red in the car's headlights. But despite seeing its legs and eyes clearly enough to give those detailed descriptions, Linda Scarberry and Mary Millette both reported being unable to see any arms or even a head. When the creature disappeared around the building, wobbling as if it were unsteady on its feet, Roger Millette, who was driving the car, floored it, heading back towards town with his passengers yelling at him to hurry. They were not home free yet, though, because they saw the creature again, perched on a hill as if waiting for them as they turned a bend in the road. As they watched, the creature spread its wings and launched straight in the air. The terrified passengers amped up their shouting for Roger to get them out of there. As they pulled out onto a straight stretch of road, Roger was able to really open it up, speeding down the road at around 100 miles per hour. But it wasn't fast enough. The creature kept pace with the car, the passengers reporting not only being able to see it and its shadow through the rear windshield and back passenger windows, they could hear its wings flapping as it kept up to speed, could hear them brushing and scratching against the roof of the car. They weren't able to shake it off until they reached the gates of a local farmer's home, theorizing that it was the bright lights that had scared it off. They drove the rest of the way into town, stopping near the lights of a local business to process what had just happened and figure out what to do next. Linda insisted on calling the police, but Roger and Steve were worried that the police would just laugh at them, and against both Mary and Linda's protests, decided to drive back out to the road. They got as far as the farm before they lost their nerve and decided to turn back. But just as Roger was turning the car back towards town, something leapt out from behind an animal carcass beside the road, climbed over the back of their car, and disappeared into the field on the other side of the road. The couples didn't know for sure if it was Mothman or something else entirely, but it scared them enough to convince Roger and Steve to finally go to the police. After telling their story and insisting that they hadn't been drinking that night, a policeman and another local, Gary, who'd placed that call for them from a drive-in diner, decided to follow them back up the road to the TNT area to look for the creature again. The couple saw it first, walking in a pasture as they crested a hill. It flew into the air directly towards them, but it veered off and disappeared when it was hit by the headlights of Gary's car coming up over the hill. They drove up and down the road for a bit but didn't see it again, and the whole caravan headed back towards town, where they met up with Deputy Sheriff Millard Halstead. The deputy sheriff drove back to the TNT area with the couples and Gary once more. The drive that time was uneventful, and once they'd parked, Halstead turned on the spotlight on his car to search the tree line. While Roger only reported seeing some dust and smoke coming from the nearby coal yard, both Linda and Mary reported more. Strange shadows on the building, an odd noise like squeaking of a mouse, only a lot stronger, that's in quotations. And eventually, the eyes. Linda and Mary both recalled telling Halstead that they could see the eyes, and that he then turned on the spotlight directly on them without even asking them to point them out, implying that he could see the eyes too. They didn't say what happened after the deputy sheriff turned his light on the eyes, but after sitting out there for about 15 to 20 minutes with no other major incident, the group piled back into the respective cars, drove back into town, and went their separate ways. Too scared to be alone after the experience, the Millettes stayed the night at the Scarberry's home, though none of them were able to fall asleep. The next day, the couples were interviewed by the local paper, who sent a reporter to go back out to the TNT area with them, where they saw the creature again. A few days later, 3 or 4 witnesses gave their official police report describing the creature and the incident in detail. They also went into some detail about the harassment and mocking they've been experiencing in the days since the encounter. Accusations of excessive drinking were common. Linda and Mary both complained about not being able to go out into public without hearing people laughing at them. Speculations about what they really saw out in the woods were plentiful and insistent that the couple simply couldn't have seen what they knew they'd seen. Linda even described a local minister making light of their experience.
Damn.
But even as the Scarberrys and Millettes were being ostracized by many of their neighbors, the sightings continued. The two couples have, over the years, individually reported seeing Mothman again several times. Linda, in particular, has claimed that Mothman was an occasional visitor of the Scarberry home's roof. Of course, the newspaper article about their encounter was published. Not only did the previous reports start coming to light, more people made pilgrimages to the TNT area, either seeking out their own encounter or trying to prove one of the many debunking theories people have posed. With so many people visiting the site, it was inevitable that the reports of the encounters with Mothman would only continue. Since the fall night in 1966, speculation about who, what, and why Mothman is have spread through both the believers and the non-believers. The most common theories amongst the debunkers are that Mothman is simply a bird. Some speculate that it's an owl. The Huntington Herald-Dispatch reported a mere 4 days after the incident that West Virginia University professor Dr. Robert L. Smith was certain that Mothman was just a sandhill crane that had taken a detour during its normal migration. Though he admitted that not all the details fit the crane, nor was he aware of any confirmed sightings in the area around that time, even though the occasional sandhill crane had been spotted in the area before. On the other side of the speculation, some folks believe that Mothman is some kind of demon. Others believe it's simply a creature we previously didn't know existed. Still, others have chosen to believe that Mothman is not only not an evil or malicious entity, but that it came to Point Pleasant, West Virginia to help. On December 15, 1967, Point Pleasant's Silver Bridge collapsed into the Ohio River under the weight of heavy rush hour traffic. It was, at the time, the worst bridge accident in American history, thrusting Point Pleasant into a national spotlight and triggering a rehaul of regulations in both the inspection of existing bridges and the building of new ones. The fact that the tragedy happened exactly 13 months to the day of the Scarberry and Millette sighting, the fact that leading up to the collapse, many locals reported having nightmares about an upcoming disaster, some even specifically seeing people drowning in the Ohio River, the fact that the reported sightings of the Mothman suddenly dropped off immediately following the disaster have led some to believe that the Mothman was simply there to warn the people of Point Pleasant about its upcoming tragedy. Okay, so I have a little bit more, but I got it from a different source, so I'm going to explain that. I have a snippet of an encounter here from folklife.si.edu, a magazine website, just to add a little bit of, I put here spice, star emoji.
Sure.
Star emoji. Okay, and I just want to give a little trigger warning for this snippet. There's pet death. Okay. With this initial contact, and according to written posts, Mothman would be responsible for a host of strange sightings and events in Point Pleasant and the surrounding areas, lurking outside homes, chasing cars, and stealing pet dogs. Stealing dogs? The day before Mothman stretched his leathery wings above the couple's car, it's possible he made a stop at Newell Partridge's home in Salem, West Virginia. The account, chronicled in John Keel's book The Mothman Prophecies from 1975, tells of a German shepherd named Bandit who bolted into the woods after two glowing red circles. Partridge says he looked for Bandit but found nothing but paw prints going in circles and then vanishing. We'll never know if this was a true birth of the Mothman story. Two glowing circles may not a Mothman make, but Bandit's story would never have surfaced without the frightening tale of Scarberry's close encounter. So he may or may not be dead, but if he went missing, it's probably likely that he is dead.
No, yeah.
Okay, so give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I always go so long in between hearing like the original Mothman like encounter like that, and it always gets me like, it was an owl, it was a crane, bitch, giant red eyes.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Right.
Like,
obviously not the same thing.
7 feet tall. What are we talking about here? Like everyone wants to disprove it. Sure, I understand that, but at least make it make sense, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't just shrug your shoulders and go, well, I don't know. I just know it wasn't your thing, you know?
Right.
Right.
No, it's crazy because, like, as I was saying before my story and, like, a little bit after, we don't really consider Mothman to be, like, this huge scary thing. But that's fucking terrifying. That's kind of scary. Still.
Yep. So.
Yes.
For the first photo.
Sure.
I have the newspaper article from November 16th, 1966, where they titled the article about the sighting, "Couples See Man-Sized Bird, Creature, Something."
Yeah.
Okay, and then, hold on here. For my remaining photos, I have multiple sketches of Mothman from Roger Scarberry.
Okay.
So let me put those in here.
Huh.
And an additional, so I'm actually going to include an additional thing here I didn't write down. But this one is from the Shapeshifters website. I don't know if one of them did it or what, but that's also a depiction that someone drew based on the description that was given that night.
Okay.
And then I have an additional news article that came out later, dated February 16th, 1975. And it's titled, "In Fear of the UFO Bird."
The UFO bird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so all these seem to, like, draw him around, like, pretty similarly, too.
Yep. So the original
Reminds me of a Looney Tunes character.
A little bit.
You know
like
what
the
I'm
one with
talking
the big
about?
hair?
Yeah, the red dude.
Yeah, I remember his
he wears
name.
the sneakers.
He's the son of, like, Witch Hazel.
Yeah.
I forget his name. I'm gonna hear it later and be like, oh, yeah. No, yeah, that's,
I think it looks like the Fresno Nightcrawler with wings.
He does. Yeah,
But
Fresno
also
Nightcrawler
black
with-
instead of white.
Yeah.
Or gray, I guess, instead of white.
Mm-hmm. No, that's I was thinking, like, when you were telling me about how, like, they couldn't make out a head or, like, a face after seeing the eyes, right? Mm-hmm. And, like, I wonder if that was, like, intentional, like, if the eyes are somehow, like, hypnotic, or if, like, they make it, like, distorted almost, you know?
Right.
Like, as maybe a defense mechanism? I don't know. That's weird. Because also in my story, he mentioned, like, it looks like looking into the eyes of the devil. So, like, it's something with the eyes, man. All right, well, any more thoughts on that one? No? All right, what do you give Dalia's rating from Moth to Man? What is how many mans does she get for this one?
Or moths.
No, Moths was mine. You get mans. I'm sorry.
That's not fair.
Carne asada tacos.
Mm.
A little bit louder into the mic.
Carne asada tacos.
Is that better or worse than green?
Better.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
I'm a little heartbroken, but I understand completely. Well, B, for your birthday episode that you did not realize we were having, what do you have for us today? Yes?
Did you just rip ass?
I don't recall. Wasn't on mic, so it can't be proven.
I don't remember. That's funny. Okay, hold on.
I thought you were lifting your ass to fart.
That would have been great.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, because I apparently don't know how to look at a calendar.
Well, also, we could have very well told you. I don't think Dalia would have realized either if I didn't say, hey, we're doing this, this, and this these days, so prepare.
No, it was my idea.
Was it?
Yes.
I don't remember that. I know Mothman Mania was your idea, and the idea for...
But I was like, I want to do the Mothman story sometime. This was months ago. I want to do the Mothman story sometime. I was like, I think it'd be nice to do it during B's birthday.
Okay. Fair enough, then.
Hell yeah. Well, I didn't know. I forgot about B's birthday. But it's funny because, you'll see why it's funny.
Well, to be fair, we don't really... until this past recording session, we really haven't been thinking about when these episodes come out.
Yeah.
We've just been doing them.
Yeah. Now
Like-
I'm sitting here thinking about like, well, shit, all right.
But as it gets to the later months of the year, I was like, I need to pay more attention when like the Christmas episode's coming out and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but it's crazy.
Krampus. There's got to be Krampus stories out there.
I'm
Real
sure
life
Dalia can
Yeah.
find a Krampus story on the internet. Yeah.
Krampus.
Oh,
Krampus.
I think I know what I'm doing for the Christmas episode. It'll be pretty good. But like, what was I gonna say after that? I don't really recall. I do know that I was like, okay, so it was like we need to pay more attention. Nope, it's gone. Continue.
All right.
That thought is in the trash bin.
Dial up internet.
No, for real.
For our joyful, wholesome story, OP has titled this, My Parents Adopted, in quotes, two people whose parents abandoned them.
I already love it.
Yep. Some context for this. My brother and I were born 9.5 years apart and are the only biological children of our parents. All of this story takes place in Central Florida, where I grew up, and my parents surrounded themselves in a certain kind of environment that makes a lot of this surprising in retrospect. I'll refrain from political comments, but the environment of the time is important to the story. When my brother went to high school in the early 2000s, he became close friends with a Muslim girl that I'll call Dee. She would stop by all the time, and though I was very young when they first met, I always loved when she would. Oh my god. She was always a bit rebellious, a trait that her parents did not appreciate, and had an incredibly abusive father. One day they kicked her out of the house and locked the door. My brother pulled our family to the table and talked about it in tears, and our parents decided to let her live with us for as long as she needed. She did so for a couple of years, and though we never filed paperwork, she quickly became part of our family, was able to graduate, go to college, and moved to New York City to become a museum curator.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Fast forward to a little over 10 years later. Our parents have gotten divorced, they had all their savings stolen by their financial advisor, and the market crash happened. It was, and still is, difficult for all of us to get by. At this point, I had just recently graduated high school and decided a year or two prior to live with my father full-time instead of bouncing between them. I had just gotten an awful minimum wage job at a sandwich chain, and there I met a mutual friend I'll call Jay. We started chatting more, I grew closer to her, and I found out two things. First, she was a trans woman from Tampa, and second, she too had been kicked out of her parents' house and was couch surfing with our mutual friend. One day, our mutual friend had to leave town for a couple of months, and for reasons complicated and unimportant, this meant Jay could no longer couch surf there, meaning she was, once again, going to be left homeless. So I sat my father down and had the same discussion with him that my brother did a decade prior. Despite all the hardships we were facing living paycheck to paycheck, despite the stigma, he decided again to let her stay with us. Like before, though we never filed any paperwork, she quickly became part of our little family and stayed with us for a couple of years. I can disagree with my family a lot. Some of their life decisions can baffle me, but this is something I'll always be proud of them about. Kindness and empathy should always win. I'm proud to have two sisters I love so dearly.
Oh, that's great.
That's so
isn't
cute.
it?
Oh, you've been bringing some really good ones today.
I told you.
Yeah.
I told you.
No, these are good. I love
That one brought tears to my eyes.
Oh, that's good,
Mhm.
man.
So, for those that may not know, I have an adopted daughter. And I'll actually share the picture that I have here. I love y'all, but her face is going to be blocked out.
We're going to put a Dombie right over that.
But this is a picture that was taken by the local news station right after the judge had granted the adoption. And I just start bawling because I was so happy. We're all crying. I wish you could see it, but you can't. But there's a giant smile on her face, and it was just such a fantastic moment. But my daughter, she wasn't adopted in the traditional sense. It's really long and complicated, but it was a similar situation. She was someone who was close to us and needed somewhere to go, and I wasn't going to let her go.
Mm-hmm.
She always had a home with me. And it's been, even though she's been with us since she was 5 months old, her adoption has been legal for a little over a year now.
That's so great.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I thought that'd be a good story for my birthday episode.
That did
end
a really
with
good one for your
a
birthday
picture of me
episode,
crying
yeah.
in a courtroom.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
All right, well, guys.
We still made Dalia cry.
Yeah.
I'm
It wasn't
sorry.
me this time, though.
I'm going through it today.
Also, I definitely hit my mic, so when you listen back to that, my bad, future Brandon.
It's okay. It'll be fine, I'm sure. It's
It
becoming
was the cord. I smacked the cord.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
It's becoming a little quirk of the podcast, so it's fine.
Perfect. Love that.
No, yeah. Since it's your birthday, would you like to be the one that leads us out?
Hell yeah, let's do it. In terms of socials, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, but not Twitter because...
Fuck Twitter.
Where can you listen to us? Well, wherever you're listening right now.
Yeah, that's a start for sure.
And honestly, anywhere that you can listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, or you can watch the videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Get you these pictures that we're talking about here. Catch them there, or you can catch the pictures on our other socials. If you want to share your stories with us, we would love to read them. Give us your real life stories. If they're paranormal encounters, go ahead and title them to Dalia for me, no H. If they are joyful, wholesome stories, go ahead and title them to B for me, 2 E's. Leave us a rate, review, comment, all that good kind of stuff, whatever the option is, wherever you are. We really appreciate it. Helps get us out to more people.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a great day. Happy birthday to me. I'm 28 today. It's my day.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thank
Don't forget
you.
the email.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
The email.
I said all that and
Wait,
didn't say
no.
the email.
Yeah.
Where can you send those emails? You can send those emails to TPIBOTE@outlook.com. TPIBOTE@outlook.com.
There you go.
My apologies. I got excited.
It's
I'm a little
okay.
full of myself right now.
Your excuse because
It's
your birthday.
It's your birthday. You
Yeah.
deserve it.
birthday.
I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. And as always, this podcast was based on true events.